Hi guys, welcome back to our video again. Recently after the rainy season, there's something wrong with the IU. Not too sure because it's old or water seep through. Not too sure of the vibration because we put this current setup. The IU is not working. Okay, so even if your ignition is on for a while, it doesn't show up. So right now we gotta trace the issue and see what's wrong with the IU. Okay, the first thing we should do is check the connection. The first thing you should check is whether the fuse is blown. So all the IU will have a fuse, and then all you need to do is just turn out lah, okay? And then you check whether this filament inside is blown. This guy seems intact to me. Okay, sometimes it's just loose lah, so you have to adjust it here and there a little bit. Then we will try it again. Okay, no, it doesn't work. Next, we identify whether it's the connection issue because right now it's connected to a fuse instead of directly to the battery terminal. So what we can do now is maybe we open this up. Okay, you need to take out the fuse cover. Then you open up the fuse and unplug it. Okay, we put the fuse back, and then what we will do here is we will tap this back to the battery, direct to the source, and see whether if it works. If it works, means there's some connectivity issue. So it's already directly connect to the battery. This thing should work without ignition. Okay, so we can conclude that the IU is damaged. Because this bike is more than 5 years old, so we suggest this should be out of warranty. What we need to do next is to buy a new IU. So we bought a new IU. It's actually not a new IU, it's an old IU that has been scrapped from a bike. Note that you can only buy a used IU to replace your current IU if it's scrapped from a bike within 6 months. So if it's from a bike that is not scrapped, then you cannot re-register. We can tell it's old, so we need to do some cleaning up later on the rust of the bracket. And because it was just cut off directly, we need to test whether it's working or not before we do all the necessary cleaning. So we gotta strip this wire a little bit, connect to the terminal and see whether it works. Open up the insulator so we have enough wire to connect to the IU. We don't want to cut too much because this is the top part. We will use the older IU to extend. So basically you just want to strip the rubber out. Okay, now it's a strip. Okay, probably you see like a 2N that you can attach it to the extra extended cable. Now we gotta remove the broken IU from the bike. This is the old bike, so this is the IU that we gotta remove. It's quite straightforward. Basically yesterday, because we tested it, so all we need to do is just to loosen this to take out the wire. Okay, so now we got this wire. Probably we need some part of it. We just cut out this length of it to attach the other IU to test it out. Best is you can try on the spot when you took over the IU because all these are old IU, so it doesn't really have warranty. And to buy a brand new IU is $155 plus, and the bracket is another $20. So if you buy a used one like that, it cost me $70 IU plus bracket. Okay, of course it's not the tip-top condition, so now we have enough length, so we're going to test out whether the IU works. So right now we are here back to the battery. No change to the concept here. Black to minus. Just briefly tighten it. Okay, and then this to go into the positive side. We will see whether it works. Okay, so now it works. So the easiest way is to just cut off here and then tap the new IU back to this part. So we don't need to reroute the whole thing, but since we are already here, I want to tidy up the cable a little bit. Okay, so these are the two IU. This is the one that we just bought. Clean up everything first. Unscrew all this security screw. Okay, it's a three-way kind of screw. But if you have a Phillips screw, basically you can just force in and then you still can unlock it. Okay. Let it soak for a while and then probably we'll remove the rust later on with sandpaper and some other scrub. Okay, now we measure the length somewhere here. We gotta cut this from the 40 IU. So this, bye bye. Maybe you can use back the cover, don't know. Same thing, we gotta strip this side to tack here. Okay, you can use a scissors to open it up slightly further so you can have more wiring exposed. Okay, basically we're gonna tap with a soldering iron. So we have this soldering iron that we bought previously. So first we need to strip this wire, same method. Now we completed the stripping of both ends. One that is connected to the terminal and this part is connected here. So what we got to do now is to hook these two parts up. Okay, we tied up the black first and then we got to solder it. So now we wait for this thing to heat up and then we will prepare the soldering iron to melt it on. Okay, just for precaution's sake, we don't want to drip onto the table surface and damage the surface. We put a rug here. Okay, the tip is not hot, so we need to clean it. After some scraping off, you can see that the tip is clearly much cleaner now. Of course, there's still some fiber here and there, but what we are trying to do here is to just make sure the tip gets all the heat. Just now there's a lot of carbon covering it, and when you can't use the tip, it's not very precise because the tip is the sharpest point where you can pinpoint where you want to solder. So test if it will break. Clamp it in place, and then we will use this tape to tape it up. Okay, now we work on to the other one, which is the white one. Okay, so now we have solder and sort of like insulate the whole IU, more or less done. Okay, so now we gotta clean up the IU with this like a super sponge and also a rubbing alcohol. Just take note, don't rub off the serial number because it's a very important sticker. Okay, so it's clean up. So now we have to attach this back to the machine. Okay, basically this will take some time. Change a new IU bracket. Basically that is still able to use, it's just that it takes some time. So we have a spare one, we will just use it first. Untap out the mirrors. You can choose which side you want to put, left or right, as long as it's not in the way. Okay, more or less done. And then we got to tighten this. And we are ready to do the rewiring back to the battery. We follow the line and utilize all the cable holder and then run through and connect it back to the positive end and then negative to the negative end. So generally the IU should work by now. We will give it a try. Okay, the moment of truth. Okay, great, it's working. Okay, so what we did was just cable tie up the wire, and then just to make sure that it's all in place lah, okay, to keep it tidy. Now I just need to cut off all this loose end, and we are good to go on the next stage, which is for the RU inspection. Okay, we are here to Vicom or STA. Okay, so here we go, and we are done. Easy. Okay, so now we are back from the inspection center. We can reconnect back the IU back to our ignition. Once you open the seat, we will untap out the positive end of the IU. So we will tap it back to the fuse as it was before. So this is the fuse box. We will use this secondary supplementary fuse. Okay, we will slot the cable in and then use the fuse to also plug it in and then close the fuse cap. So now we got to test out the IU. Okay, it didn't lead up without the bike being powered up. So we power up the bike. Okay, it's not leading up. Done. So now we are all good to go. So thank you for watching this video. See you on the next one. Bye bye.